Nelly to get into the lobby. Right, so Rage, Rob, Nelly, Mike. Ryan Sound, P5, nice. Mikey. Mikey, here we go. Where's the Chivmeister? The Chivinator. Mikey, Chiv.
Yeah, where's Logan?
Stephen.
You either. You're not. You're saying it's not yours.
Matthew. Matthew. Con. Jay. Fingers. The kid. Joe. Yes, I did. 100% I did.
Right, so I have called the guys 5 minutes on the grid, no reading up. Mike has been given the authority to get the timer underway. Adam, I am joining the lobby.
Yep, that's fine. That is fine. What's that, Nick?
I will jump to spectator. Adam, you need to press triangle as well.
Yes. Oh, yes, because I am currently sitting on the grid when I don't want to be. Spectate, so who isn't in the car that I screwed up on? So, right, everyone is there. Let me go back to the grid to make sure. So, Rage, Rob, Nelly, Mike, Brian, Mikey, Chiv, Stephen, Matthew, Con, Jay, Fingers, Connor, Pedro, Chris, Nick, Ranger, Skarma, Mick. So F. Lewis has somehow ended P20.
So, is that us?
I think I'm here. I think. Right, Lewis, Rage, Rob, Nelly, Mike, Ryan, Mikey, Chiv, Stephen, Matthew, Con, Jay, Fingers, Connor, Pedro, Chris, Nick, Ranger, Skarma, Mick, who wasn't there for the sprint. That is it. We are done.
So I will give the official word.
Yes. Yes, we are good to go.
Good as set. Good luck. Do not ready up. So, after that chat, we are back. Well, we were only away for just a little minute, but we are back in full conversation. So, Adam, you have the picture. Oh, you heard it, chat. The grid was just spoken, of course, by Adam. We spoke to our top three there. Nice to actually get a little conversation with the drivers in between. Put them right under pressure for what they feels to come, so when they fail, we can question them about it later.
I tell you what, one thing out of your interviews there, Chris, do you know what I picked up on? Rob did not sound how I thought he would sound.
Have you never spoke with Rob before? Is that the first time you've heard him? Ah, there you go.
Yeah, first time I've heard him.
The joys of the comms box. You
Yes.
hear so many unique voices. And so many horrible ones like SPW. But, you know.
Oh, God, the voice of enthusiasm in Stephen.
So, somebody has readied up straight away.
Oh, there's always one. Every time, there's always one.
So,
what are we waiting for?
oh, maybe that was just wrong. No, that's fine. Right. Well, that makes me feel good. As long as that was maybe just a bug on our end, Adam. So the guys are taking the time. I was going to say, because the OTL guys are really good at just doing his arse, they never tend to
They
mess
are.
up or thing me, so I was very confused
Yeah.
at why we were actually getting a timer on the screen. So Adam, you see the grid, we know what's ahead. What do you think happens? I think Mike's going to come out with a vengeance, first and foremost.
I mean, firstly, I'd like to know what happened. I'd love to know what happened. But yeah, I mean, I think well, I don't know, he had that under control. So does he really need to attack so early? Does he not just want to get into his rhythm and just let the race come to him? They're not going to disappear from him.
That's a good point.
So
And
if
of
he just
course,
chills at the start,
you get that walk into a 50% race with absolutely open tyre choice, Adam. That is horrendous rustling in the background. Oh my god.
I was trying to do it quietly, I swear to God.
Yeah, no, that was not quiet at all.
I tried. We've just done dinner, and of course somebody doesn't want what was on offer, so I've now got to put something else in for said child.
Oh.
Kayla, sit down.
So,
Yes.
somebody's given £100
done.
if you do that. Oh, read it up. Oh, I see. Nelly trying to bait the monster and get himself into some bother. Nelly the mischievous man. Yeah, the stream went a little bit quiet, which is unfortunate. I did post it back. Oh, my partner's just sent me an attachment. I should read this quick.
You are in trouble.
Oh. So, we will be getting underway in any minute.
Yes, hopefully we'll be underway any minute. Oh, Stephen has left the session. What a surprise.
Yeah, I definitely. I said this pre-race that, yeah. If somebody would, SPW would come and join and then the internet would pig out. So, that's got to be about 5 minutes, right?
Yeah, it's starting, 24 seconds.
So here we go.
An invite. Right, Stephen, I have sent you an invite if you are watching the new stream.
Yeah, he's already back. He came back very quickly there, so that was a good job, Adam. You got on him. Yeah, he's already back in.
Wow. Well, that's I suppose I could be happy with that. I've got to get my munches at some point. I'm feeling hungry just for Stephen. I know he loves me eating. Well, I'm intrigued by this. I've got Lewis on pole.
Formation lap on, yeah?
I'd hope so.
Yes.
I just like the settings every week.
So F Lewis in AI, which is a bit of a no-no. At this stage and in league racing there is absolutely no need to do your formation lap in AI, but I guess some are different. So tyre choices, Rob Wills, Shiv and ENTXJ Scalma all on the hard compound tyre. I think that is a choice they may live to regret, but we'll see how it plays out. F Lewis are only man inside the top 12 drivers to start on the soft compound tyre.
He wants to drive away. He wants to try and drive away because he knows Mike's a threat no matter what, so he needs to create a gap.
So Rob Wills is going to cause a bit of congestion, I would imagine, into turn 1, depending on how well he gets that tyre off the line. But it's not going to be easy. SPW is going to be one to watch. Obviously gained 10 positions from the sprint race. Shiv there in P8, of course, just reserving this evening. Oh, as nearly puts the car into the wall. Mikey P7. He could be one to watch. Ryan Sam in P6.
Con. I've got to say, if he makes it through another formation, Lappy's a threat. Fact.
So Mick, of course, missing out in the one-shot qualifying and sprint race, but gets in at the back of the grid in that feature race.
I will say for Mick, he messaged me earlier about that, saying he'll let me know, and he's always in contact if he's going to be late or something, which I respect.
Yes, he's a very good lad for that.
Yes, yes.
So the grid filters up. The sprint race is behind us. A bit of normality restores as we settle down to what is our feature race normality, 50%, 32 laps ahead, and of course, no differences on tyre wear. Every day on a fresh set is Mick slots into that rear slot on the grid, and then he goes. We will get on board with F. Lewis as the grid absolutely poops the bed a little bit there for me, but it seems to have settled down. As we get 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and Otl-Imola GP is away. F. Lewis, his first phase, and Mr. Rage has had some huge wheel spin off the line. He's put under massive pressure from Nelly. Nelly's going into P2. Mike gets through, and his teammate. But Mr. Rage and Nelly's going to go side by side. Mr. Rage getting the squeeze on and getting that second position back there, so he had his elbows out. Mike now putting Nelly under all sorts of position. Rob Wills on his hard compound tyre, you see, getting swallowed up in these opening laps as Mikey now goes wide, and Ryan Sam sees that as an opportunity to strike. He'll try and go right round the outside of the two of them. He will get round the outside. Matoman looking in the inside, and Rob Wills has just gone back and back and back. He cannot get that hard tyre switched on. ENTXJ now will go through on that outside line. The grid and my screen is going absolutely crazy. I had to change there. Oh, and who's that? Shiv has been pushed very, very wide. As Green Fingers now gets through.
Stephen has only just moved off the grid. I feel for Stephen. He's now 29 seconds back. Damn.
So Mike up to P3, 1.8 seconds a gap, and Nelly now being put under pressure by Mikey, Matoman, Ryan Sam, ENTXJ's there, Nude Potatoes in the fight, Rob Wills is in the fight, Connor Kidd putting Rob Wills under pressure on his soft compound tyre. Connor Kidd will go through, Rob Wills now put down outside that top 10, but that hard tyre will come back to him. He's just got to see it through the first 5 laps of the race. Nick gained a few positions from further back. He's up to P12. Let's actually see all the position gains from the start. Matoman up 4. ENTXJ, Connor Kidd both gained 4. Nick up 5. Shiv lost 7 positions. SPW way to the back of the grid. Pedro lost out on a few. Mick gained a couple. As we see Kristaps there make a big move, and Fingers up into the hairpin.
Mike is all over the back and Elliot, all over the back, and Matthew is not far behind. So Stephen hadn't rejoined the lobby.
Well, I definitely said he joined before the race starts, so maybe he went again.
And I didn't know this, yeah.
And look at Matoman. Matoman is chilling with the energy at them, 85% compared to the guys in front. Matoman just needs to keep his bloody penalties down.
Yes, yes.
And look at this now, Nude Potato and ENTXJ. Of course, Jay on that hard compound tyre, so Nude Potato may think that even though he's not quite there, he could try and send one down into turn 1. He's looking at it there, and down he goes, forces ENTXJ to that wider line. That'll give Con the opportunity of that switchback, but ENTXJ using energy, I think, there to defend, and gets out the corner better. Good racing there between the two. As Nick
that's the one thing with the OTL, we get some great racing amongst them.
So let's go back. Why am I not getting an interval gap? The game has been a turd.
Yeah, I'm not getting it either.
We have got a bit of a train behind Nick, Kristaps, Rob Wills, Fingers, Shiv, Mick and Pedro all in that fight. And then a front 3 absolutely checking out.
Ooh, Pedro round.
Did they just lose it?
He did, yeah, just the right-hander up the hill. He's back going again. No safety car. See, now I'm praying for a safety car for Stephen. Is he even in?
So Mikey got clear of Nelly. Can Matoman put him under any pressure? He's going to have to use up quite a bit of the energy. Matoman seems to have a bit better straight line speed in the car here, so he'll go to Nelly's right hand side. Nelly will close the door out and hold it on the right hand, the inside line. Very good car placement there from Nelly. Matt will give him a little love tap on the rear just for good measure, and then send it right round the outside. So it'll be outside for turns 5, inside for 6. He'll get the better line, they'll do a bit of wheel tapping, but they both get through the corner side by side. And now it's fair game. Nelly will hold the inside line for the airpin, which will give him the much better exit, and he will retain the position for him now. But Mataman putting him under a big amount of pressure. It's Nude Potato now looks to the inside line at ENTSG up to turn 9, but it's not going to happen this time around, and he's all over the back. Connor Kid there as well on his soft compound tyre. So the differences in compound really starting to come into play now. SPW gets back into the session yet again. ENTSG goes wide, so that's going to give Con and Connor the opportunity to make the move, and Irish Nude Potato there with the car placement spectacular into the braking zone. So Connor Kid's smart now just to wait. Con will not get DRS the next time around, Connor will, and of course on the better tyre he should just be able to make the better exit, and away he goes. As F. Lewis has managed to break the DRS to Rage. Rage again absolutely spent on the energy, he has none.
I think quite a few of them are just, I'm not going to say it, but on the energy, lots of them.
Has that 25% really made them struggle on remembering that they can't spend so much?
There's one over 50%.
And the full grid?
Patriot. Yes.
Mr. Pedro?
Yes, only one. 80 odd percent, 70 odd percent. Everybody else is under 50, some even under 10, some under 15.
So my gaps are absolutely broken.
Yeah, so are mine. I've got from Chris Taps downwards.
And it's saying Chris Taps is under a tenth behind the car in front, which is not the case at all.
No. Joey is now coming into some problems, whether it be the hard tyre or he's just a bit bent out of shape. Nelly already picked up the time penalty. So Matt all over the back of Mikey. Now these two could have a tremendous battle. Yes, I used the word tremendous. Mikey is past Rage. Matthew is going past Mikey.
And through he goes. Matthew is showing that he's got some pace in the car. Now can he keep the penalties down?
It's such a flowing track, this track.
I love Imola.
Yeah.
Oh, and somebody's round. Could that be? And it's Mick. No damage on the car. And he, yeah, definitely got no damage. And he continues round in P16. I've not knocked myself onto mute there, Adam, did I?
No, I don't think so, mate.
No. What do you mean? Well, that would mean I'm not in mute.
Well,
I don't think so, but I can hear you.
I
It's
don't think
Con now and Ryan Sam in another unorthodox place. He's coming for a move down into the hairpin. He's getting the squeeze on. Con showing his wits and age. Just leaving the steering open a little bit, making Ryan Sam really fight for it. As Kristaps now comes for the hunt, and Ryan Sam and these guys are going to go side by side down into the last couple of corners. Ryan Sam will go for the cutback. Kristaps goes a little bit wide, and look at that racing between the three guys there. Ryan Sam gets back through. Kristaps will get the DRS, but of course Ryan Sam also has it, and he has a bit of an ERS advantage, so he goes through for now. Look at this, Ryan Sam and Con, look at the overspeed. Oh, I don't think Con done any big movements there. I think Ryan Sam was just unsure of where exactly Nude Potato was going to go. And look at Mr. Rage now staying with Mike, and they're both starting to bring the gap down to F. Lewis. Of course, the soft tyres still should be good for another 5 or 6 laps.
Stephen is finally not last.
Making gains is that man. Connor and Nelly now.
I want to see a safety car for Stephen because his race was plumb from the start. Oh, VSC out? What's that for? Armour's in the pits. He's on the mediums now. I wonder if the mediums could go to the end from here.
Yeah.
Lewis is in the pits. Ooh, smart.
Chev gets a 5-second time penalty for ignoring yellow flags.
Tut, Chivmeister. Tut.
That's interesting. So will guys jump on the pit stop? They are, and fingers, and and there's been speeding in the pit lanes and time penalties for contact.
Time penalty is galore.
So we will wait until I think the grid now filters out on the restart and we'll get an idea of exactly the lay of the land. Front.
Connor's the only one that stayed out on softs. Oh, Connor and no Ranger is in the pits, so Connor
So
has stayed out on the
F
softs.
Lewis to the hards, Adam. That, I think, be it no more safety cars, a massive decision. Oh, and Fingers picks up a drive-through for speeding under the VSC.
His buddy Schlee would be so disappointed in him. So disappointed.
Ryan, Sam and Nick now starting to battle.
The hard tyres on, and he does make it work.
Yeah, I would agree. And ENTSG and Rob Will showed that in the early phase it's maybe not great, but after that,
No.
it's not too bad.
Well, he must nearly do him with the soft side. He's 100% not going to the end on them softs.
As Nick goes through on Ryan Sam. So Nelly committed to a 2-stop as Fingers picks up a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, so Fingers not having a good time at the moment.
Con going onto the softs as well.
So these guys look committed to 2-stops here.
Yeah, well, committed to hoping there's another safety car, 5-second speed
What
penalty
the-
for Fingers, so
I mean, he's pretty much about to get disqualified now, I think.
13 seconds.
He'll serve one here though, I think, so that'll go down to a little bit. To 8 seconds maybe?
Oh dear.
Connor
Right,
Kid
still
putting
13
pressure, and Connor Kid looking very comfortable, Adam. He's still in that soft compound tyre. He's creeped up to the back of this Mikey and Mataman fight, and the pace still looks reasonably good.
To be fair, I mean, obviously he joined OCL in season 3.
Mikey had a big moment there in the exit of the last corner, and Connor Kid will go through. Sorry to jump in on you there, Adam.
No, you're fine. I haven't seen Connor Kid race for a while. He dropped to reserve, I believe it because of school. And he wanted to reserve tonight, and he's come back, he slipped straight back in, and he's in a fight.
As to be expected, because I think it was always the way. As Rob Wills now, we get a bit of action between Rob Wills and ENTHJ, the two boys in the hard compound tyre. Rob Wills goes through and starts to recover what he lost at the start of the race.
How did Rage get in front of Mike? Did I miss something?
I think they're maybe just swapping over each other.
No, fair enough. Right, so that was Con with the fastest. That was 17 something, and then Pedro got a penalty.
And the penalty's been quite a big factor tonight. Imola is a tough old track.
Yeah, 3 second time penalties, that's 6 seconds between himself now. Rob will serve his 5 seconds in his pit.
But just picks up another 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, so I think Mike now will go through and rage. Well, he's not using any energy, maybe just the overspeed in the DRS is going to be enough. He will go through in that inside lane. Mr. Rage won't fight it too much, and through Mike goes back into the lead as Connor Kid now up to P3.
Oh, sectors 2 and 3, yellow flag. It is a slow moving Ferrari, I believe. No,
Rob
good.
Wills and ENTXJ having another scrap. ENTXJ now
that's
back
gone
through
really
Rob
wide.
Wills. And he's been struggling at
really
that
wide.
corner all day. Turn 5 has been out to get him. So where is our gaps? Where is our biggest fight? It's this Rob Wills ENTXJ fight at the moment.
Yeah. I mean, Rage and Mike. I mean, Mike's pulled a second on Rage. Matthew's coming back at Mikey now as well. There's only 7 tenths to go.
So not even at the halfway point, only a third into the race so far. And the biggest gainers, let's actually have a look at that. Let's see who the biggest gainers are as we get to kind of the third way point of the race. Connor Kidd, of course, up 11. Nick as well, up 11. Matoman came from 10th to 5th. ENTXG up 4. Mick up 8. Rangers gained a couple, but we've had a lot more drivers losing out some positions. SPW, of course, fell to the back of the grid, but now brought himself. He is very much back in the fight in the pack, so recovered very well. Mick, ENTXG, Rob Wells, Ryan Sam, Nick, Matt, Mikey, Connor, Rage and Mike all still to box. So that'll also change the dynamic just a little bit.
Rage and Mike are just playing with each other at the moment. Oh, Ranger's making a move on Chris Taps. Now he's moved down. Oh.
This Mikey Matoman fight, I'm going to stay with this for a little minute. Matt all over the back of Mikey again. So Matt's having some moments, but recovering very well. He can seem to hit the car back up to some reasonably good pace pretty quickly. It's not costing him lots, so he just needs to try and dial out the mistakes. Yellow flag in sector 2, we've got a Ferrari round. I don't think it's a retired car, somebody just dropped it, the shame. Chicane as Matoman now goes back through Mikey, back up to P3. And a pretty standard DRS pass down into turn 1. Connor Kidd now goes to the pits for the hard compound tyre. Ranger picks up a time penalty for multiple warnings.
Connor Kidd in the pits.
Yes, and onto the hards.
He's out on the hards. Jinx, by the way. So hards.
ENTXJ, I think's had a moment there. He's not going to hold his teammate there up either. Yeah, and ENTXJ recognised it. And F. Lewis will let him go. ENTXJ will let F. Lewis go. Now ENTXJ can just stay with. And nearly for ignoring yellow flags. So did he overtake somebody off the track? Where are the fights staying? It's staying at this thing, although this Nelly ENTSJF Lewis battle, this may materialise into something. Connor Kidd all over the back of Mick, although Mick goes to the pits.
Yeah. I'm trying to see what Con does. I mean, he's going to have to stop again, but another 5-second penalty speeding in the pit lane for Mick. Matt and Mikey are having a battle. Nick isn't far off. He's gaining. Oh, we have.
Oh, my stream went down.
Is that Stephen? Is that Stephen?
Shiv now picks up a team penalty, so everybody in the bottom end of the field really starting to suffer on the penalty front. The gaps, everybody outside the DRS, apart from this Mikey Mataman fight, so I guess we just stay here for a little bit. As Mikey's DRS will pop up and we'll jump on board as you see the massive change in overspeed. And through he goes now.
Stephen has quit. Don't blame him. Not his night, not fair. Isn't it? Poop the bed. Stephen on for 3-second time penalty.
And he's picked, Shiv's picked up like 3 penalties in 3 laps there.
These penalties are flying high.
Mikey goes a little deep at the hairpin and gives Matt the opportunity to maybe get a little bit of a run, but I think the best thing you can do here is just stay behind the driver until you get to the DRS and then make that move into turn 1. But I'm amazed Mikey holding that bit of ERS advantage. I'm surprised he's not tried to break the gap from Matterman just yet. This Nude Potato picks up another time penalty for multiple warnings.
Maybe Mikey's saving it. He's got a pit yet. Save it for when he's on the softs. Oh,
Safety car?
For what? I'm freaking through. Who's got no win?
Oh, SPW's AI has come out and put the car in the wall?
Oh, wow.
I mean, that's not his fault.
No, and I don't blame him for quitting. He was stuck at the start of the race, just sitting there whilst everybody was in sector 3, or sector 2 at least. So, wow.
But why is the AI just put him in the wall? Mr. Rage will pick up the safety car now. Mike comes into P2 and soft tyres to the end of the race.
I mean, Connacht, P3 on the hards.
But yeah, that's
mediums on
yeah, that's not going to end too well. Yeah, SPW, I know, mate. It's just bad days, man. It's really bad. It's not good at all, mate. And then
I mean, look, listen a minute. We're blaming the game when he's got hamster internet.
well, SPW, do you know what makes it even worse, mate? See, when you retired from the session in the pits, which is the right thing to do, the AI came out the pits and at turn 3 drove straight into the wall and pulled out a safety car. So that shows how really good the game is. But you gave us a nice reset at the midpoint of the race, so I ain't complaining.
I'm disappointed in Stephen, to be fair. He's not taking responsibility for his crappy internet.
So is this going to be the one for Rage, Adam?
I want to say yes, but this is against Mike, and Mike can be very clinical when he needs to be.
Yeah, I'm actually intrigued by this because we've seen a lot of times where it was Mike winning the race, or if Mike didn't, it was somebody else and Rage was there, but we never actually seen Mike and Rage really just have a slugfest.
And they're going to have to. Mind you, Connor,
yeah, he's not going to get involved. Yeah, it's going to be a slugfest between Rage and Mike, because I think Mike is on the medium compound tyre. No, he's not. He's on the soft.
I mean, and let's look from past this week to the returning Schnee. Now, if he hits on how he drives, how we know he drives, then that's another race winner there.
I know.
It gets very interesting.
But it depends how much Lee's picked up the new game.
He's going to have his excuses, isn't he? He's going to have lots of them. I've heard them all already in the past 2-3 days.
No, Rob, not served time pins, unfortunately, because it's served, mate. It's maybe something that we would be willing to talk about, though, openly with all the drivers, because you're not the first person to have asked the question. So I think if it was a unanimous agreement from the drivers, I don't see why we would have any reason not to look into that being a possibility.
But not penalties served under a safety car.
No. And of course, depending on the criteria of your 5-second time penalty in the race, like if you got that for 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pits, then no. Because you sped in the pits. Yeah,
that's completely it. Sorry about the noise, I'm grabbing a drink from your fridge.
Oh, yeah, so that would be something, yes, like a driver spun mid-track, you've been shafted there, Rob, so Yeah, well, that's something I definitely think we could talk about. I think Adam would agree there.
Lewis lagged out.
No, I think he's here.
So Stephen's putting White Lewis back.
So the tyre situation, I think Connor is a bit of a sitting duck off the start. Honestly,
yeah,
I think he'd be struggling to stay inside the top 6 here. But Connor Kidd is not a poor driver, so never say never. I think safety car will win this lap. It's got no reason to stay out.
I'm surprised Connor didn't just dip back into the pits and put softs on mediums. But if Connor can buffer Mikey and Matt and Nick and Ryan and Lewis, that gives Rage and Mike a chance to slip away and just have a two-way battle.
So Irish Nude Potato, he was making gains and then maybe never all quite went his way, Adam. I think he's the guy at the back that we could see really try and push through. I think the biggest flaw for Con early in the race was overuse of energy, as we get the call for safety car in this lap, so Rage will take over the pace. So I think Con just needs to manage the energy a little bit better in the early phase of the restart and then use it to attack drivers later.
Yes. Yeah, I can see him making his way up into the top 10.
And Mike, look at Mike, he is absolutely hounding Rage. So Rage has let the safety car really scamper off. The question is, when does he choose to go big old drive to turn 1? He's weaving away, and he's going to stay weaving. We'll stay with Mike because you get a good idea to when Rage is going to go. Mike absolutely waiting to pounce, and Rage gets underway. Connor Kidd gets actually a very good reaction, but you'll see the soft tyres start to go into play a little bit. We'll go back to Michael as he gets put under a bit of pressure now from Connor. Mike's going to have to get on the energy, but the hard tyres just not going to give him the grip, and this is where we'll see Connor become the cork in the bottle for the guys behind. They're going to want to clear him very, very quickly. We'll stay with this Mike Rage battle. In fact, let's go further back. We've got F. Lewis and ENTXJ, the two Alfa Romeo boys doing a bit of battling. F. Lewis losing out a bit, Nelly struggling a little bit on the restart as well. Nude Potato now going down the inside the shiv for P12 on the grid further back. What else do we have going on? We've got Pedro, he's fell right to the back of the grid. Matoman now 1/10 of a second, he's all over the back of Connor Kidd. Space not quite there, Connor will have to get on the defensive line. So the soft tyre, much more superior, and as I said, I think Connor's going to struggle to stay anywhere close to the top 6 here as we've got Skarma round. ENTXJ on the back of Ryan Sam, also F. Lewis as well on the recovery drive. Of course, no penalties there, so if he can stay with us and keep the penalties down, he's definitely going to finish inside that top 6. Mr. Race sets the fastest lap of the race off the restart. As he checks out a little bit from Mike, gets the gap up to 9/10 of a second. And the question is he looking to break the DRS, but is he using too much energy? They're pretty much even at the front. Let's go to this Nude Potato and Rob Wills battle further back.
I'm on board with Comp. Oh, we got
Nelly's round.
Oh. That was a close one.
And Nelly and Shivs both ended up round, Adam. I wasn't sure quite exactly how that was going to play out, and now Mick gets to run in Chris Stamps will need to be careful. And there's big contact! Mick ends up into the wall. I'm not quite sure exactly what's happened there, but we're in board, and that's going to be a safety car. The safety car's definitely going to come out here for a second time this race. I think just after the restart.
Ranger hit Nelly. Obviously, any clips that have to be sent in.
And maybe no safety car actually, because it's too quick after the restart. Mikey picks up a time penalty for multiple warnings, so that is going to be massive in that. But Matoman now putting Connor Kidd under pressure. Connor Kidd low in energy. Matoman will get into that toe before the DRS is even enabled. He'll go to the racing line to get that outside line for turn 1, and Connor just not got the braking performance that the soft tyres got. Through Matt goes up to P4, and now in that podium position because Mikey has that penalty.
Which is not like Mikey to have a penalty. Oh, another one's round. We have Nelly round again, I think.
Ryan Sam also.
It's not Nelly. Ryan Sam. Virtual
VSC out because of that. Oh, and Fingers and Pedro's had a collision. It's all gone down at Haas there, further back in the grid.
I love it, they're fly on the wall in that party chat right now.
So, just like that, we are back to green flag racing as Nelly gets to jump in Skarma at the back of the grid. And whereas the gaps ahead, Mr. Rage has broke DRS to Mike. Can Mike recover it? Although I think he is creeping back inside that gap now. Yes, he is. DRS straight enabled, so we'll see some action here. Can Connor Kidd make the run on Matt? I don't think so.
DRS advantage. Raid has 20%.
Side by side, who's that? Connor Kidd and Mattoman. Connor Kidd on his hard compound tyre has got back to Matt, and that squeezed Matt out to let Nick pounce to P5. Now Mattoman needs not get anxious because he needs to not get a penalty here.
Yeah, he needs to keep his head. 100% needs to.
ENTXJ picks up another penalty.
Let's have a look at the penalty situation.
Oh, what happened there? Nick's had a big oversteer moment, so that's allowed Mattoman to get back through. And the good thing is Connor Kidd's not got up the road, so Mattoman may have the opportunity to pounce back at Connor. But the question is, can Mattoman get back to that podium position? Mikey's at the moment. Mikey was 3.4 seconds ahead, it's now down to 2.7, so Mikey lost half a second somewhere in the last couple of corners. Mattoman, I think, will go through on Connor Kidd. Connor Kidd D-rating, so below 10%. He's not got the energy to really push. Mattoman can even get past without really using any deployment. And through he goes, and Mick has left the session. Highly unfortunate for Mick. So Mattoman gets through, and he is pretty much on the gap that he needs to get that podium position, floating about the 3-second mark. And look at Noob Potato now, Adam, up to P8, and he's pretty much in striking distance of the top 4. So
yeah.
Penalties will obviously change it.
Self-claim. Yeah, penalties always change everything, don't they? God damn penalties.
You're not at the stream, are you?
With me?
Yeah. That was it was so evident in your reply there.
I've literally just
it was like, yep, I'm just going to pretend I know what this guy's talking about.
I literally just come off to have a flick to Discord to see if anything was said from Mick or whatever like that. So
that was funny.
I do apologise.
No, don't be silly. That's just funny that it was so obvious. So ENTXJ and Connor Kidd, ENTXJ now going to go through, and I think Connor Kidd's just trying to prove me wrong when I said that oh, they're going to go side by side. Now Nick will get through on Connor, so Connor Kidd will lose out a couple. I think he was trying to prove me wrong about that top 6 remark. As Con now has a look at Connor Kidd. Time penalties galore. F. Lewis, Mike, Rage and Ryan Sam, the only guys without any. Something happens there between Nick and Connor Kidd, and Nick has another big moment. Connor has to get out a bit. Noob Potato has to check up, and now they both go through. And Nick, very good awareness between Noob Potato and Connor Kidd, as Noob is having all sorts of looks at Connor. He knows he's on that opposing tyre, and the guys will be wanting to get through with only 8 laps to go. They'll want to get through, and if they can break a penalty advantage, they're going to want to get that done ASAP. But this is really the only battle materialising on circuit at the moment. Everybody else is kind of outside the DRS window. And has the sprint format changed up the grid a little bit? I think so. I think there's some names in there that we wouldn't expect to see, some names further down that maybe we wouldn't expect also. Although F. Lewis, it's going to be interesting to see just how many positions he gets here as Con now looks to the inside the Connor Kidd in turn 1, but Connor Kidd's defence, he carries so much good speed on the wider line in the corners that it makes it very, very hard to get past, although Con will come for a run and Skarma is out. This could be a safety car, Adam, because Skarma's out, safety car's out.
Yes.
So this changes the race massively.
Yeah, you Stephen talking to you when he says that on chat?
Yeah, he's the vagina.
Ah, agreed. 100. No,
don't be salty because your internet
useful.
can't cope.
He's not the vagina because he's not useful.
That is true.
You know.
So what do the leaders do?
I mean, you've got a box because everybody's got a box, isn't they? I mean, personally, I boxed. I mean, I did it last Thursday.
Oh, so Ray stays out, Mike goes in.
I think it's a mistake from Ray. I think Ray should have boxed.
Mike, the only guy to box. Oh, ENTXJ's goes in. Oh, Connor's going to... Oh, you are so lucky there, Connor. You nearly racked the back. Nude Potato will stay out. So Mike drops to P6, P7. Oh, I don't know, Adam. I don't know. I don't think so. Mike needs to recover 6 positions in about 5 laps of racing, if that. I don't think so, mate. Not here. I don't think that was the right call. If a driver can push through, though, Mike is the guy that will do it.
100%.
So he's going to give us something to watch come the end of the race. I agree, SPW. I think maybe staying out, looking at that, coming out in P8. I think that was maybe not such a good call. F. Lewis is going to be the tricky one on that medium tyre. Yeah. Oh yeah, I think that solidifies Rage winning. And Matoman has done what we told him not to do. But the thing is, I think Mike has maybe just took a punt because he feels he can always get P2 anyway with the time penalties. So like, why not take a chance? But
I mean,
we're probably going to do another lap under safety car, so it's going to be on to lap 28 starting, 5 laps of racing. Eee.
F.
It's
Lewis
a big
is in
ass.
prime position. Guys in front, all got penalties in front of F. Lewis. He's got a P2 all over this.
Oh yeah, I would agree. So we're going another safety car lap. I'm going to grab
And
a
then
tinkle.
Mike's not got penalties, so Mike can recover a P3.
Yes.
Even though he's down in 8th at the moment, so I mean, I think if you're looking at your podium, I call it now Rage, Lewis, Mike. Here, you need to go with keys there.
So sorry, but that's it. Had to
You're
grab the
good, mate,
restroom,
you're good.
but I think we're going to get a safety car in this lap. Right? Yes.
Yes, Stephen, I am.
It's
Normally.
checking up.
100% normally do, Stephen, but you suck and you're not in the race no more.
Nah. So
Nah.
Mr. Rage getting ready to pounce Pedro right there as a back marker. So interesting one for Pedro here. Rage is going to leave it nice and late, and away he goes. He'll get the jump in Pedro. That's got a car in between. So Matoman, I don't know what has been going on with Matoman, but he has lost a huge amount of time. Oh, what's happened here? Oh my god, there is about 5 cars all over the track, Adam. ENTXJF, Lewis, Chris Stapps, might get caught up in it also. I'm not sure exactly what is played out there in the race restart, but there was big contact further back as Mike now goes in the outside of Connor Kidd and up to P6. Yeah, Stephen, I have no idea what has went on there, mate, but that was cars everywhere. I hope you've seen what I seen there when I looked behind.
I mean, did Matt not just have a moment and have a domino effect?
I'm not sure.
I don't know whose car I was on board with. I'm talking out of my hole, as Stephen says. Pretty sure I see him have a little moment. Maybe a domino effect people avoiding, and I'm pretty sure we'll find out in the stewards' room after the race tonight.
Mate now through on Nick, pushing on.
Oh, Mike and Con. Mike and Con, an old battle.
Look at this, Nick's going to come back through because Mike was derating, and look at this, we're going to go 3 wide. It's going to be Mike, Connor Kidd, Nick, Ranger thinking about getting involved as well, but backs out, and Connor Kidd gets round the outside of both. Mike looks at the inside line, there's a bit of contact there. Mike corrects and sees it coming, and now Ranger looks at Mike from behind, but he's going to choose not to go this time around. Can Nelly come up and get involved in this one as well, as Mike makes a big move in that fresh tyre down into the hairpin. That was a hell of a dive there. Very, very good racing as Matt now starting to be put under pressure from Con. Down to 3 laps to go. Rage checking out up front. No penalties as well, so he's absolutely chilling. So Mike is on one. SPW says he can tell Mike is fuming, because that's when he drives half decent. Sorry, I'm sorry. Sorry, Mike.
It's true. It's true.
Connor Kidd putting the potato under big pressure as well, so Matoman picks up another time now, so Matoman pushing a bit.
He's lost his head. He's lost his head.
So let's see how this one plays out.
To sort him out.
Connor Kidd goes to Nude Potatoes inside line. We'll get on board as the squeeze gets on, guys giving each other absolutely nothing. Connor Kidd goes through now up to P4. Mike now on Con. Is there going to be a move here down into the inside? No, this time around. Can Mike get the run on that nice fresh compound tyre? Another big dive down into the hairpin. He's liking that move on the fresh rubber.
He is. We've got the Irish contingent racing now. Connor, Mike and Con. All about to eat Matthew up for breakfast.
So where does Mike go now? He's going to look to the racing line. Connor Kidd will need to be aware. He looks at Matt's inside. It's not going to come this time around. Mike still has Conley as a big oversteer moment in exit turn 12, and Michael pushing on now, but Connor Kidd on Matthew, is he going to look for one? Matt, oh man, just making his car that bit wider on the kink down the hill just to put Connor Kidd off and make it. Has he nearly had a big moment there?
Yeah.
Now Connor Kidd will go through, and Matoman easy peasy as you like. Mike now pushing on. Is he going to make a big send of Matoman down into turn 1? He's not going to get close enough this lap around. Rage now 1.7 seconds ahead at the front, but Mike is the man making all the action on track at the moment, although Nelly and Nick and Rob Wills here looking for maybe some moves further back. But we'll go back to Mike. He's 110 from Matterman. Matterman's going to put the car in the middle of the road. But Mike says, alright, you want to defend the inside? I'll now use the outside line, and round he goes again on that turn 6 corner. It's his absolute best friend, making moves on absolutely every day. So Mike now up to P4, no penalties, sitting in that pocket for P2, and he is a man on an absolute mission.
I'm 100% he was smiling his ear lead off when he went past Matt.
Oh, there's going to be contact here. Big squeeze goes on between Nude Potato and Ranger. Ranger will need to be careful, he cannot go past them off the track. What a move there for Mike, by the way. I just need to talk about that. He's absolutely got the bit between his teeth. I think the energy's going to let him down on the push here as we go on to the final lap of the race. But he is going to get in that pocket for P2. But Mr. Rage strategy has been on point. He was said after that P2, which should have been the win in the sprint race, he said he was going for the win, and it looks like it is there. And what's happened to Con? Somebody's round. Con is round. What's happened in Nick? Con and Nick. Next round. Kristoff's round in the last lap of the feature race as well. And what's going on here? We've got Shiv. Oh, F. Lewis is round. There's big calamity going on further back in the grid at the rear of that top 10.
Oh, I'm going to have a busy stewards again, ain't
I think so, sir. But Mr. Rage, where is he? He's coming through the chicane for the last time. He will now go down the kink and head downhill to the last couple of corners. Mike picks up a penalty. Mike picks up a penalty, and that could be it if Mikey and Connor only has one. That could be Mike's podium. Connor Kid and Mike are going to go side by side in the last corner. Can Mike pounce on this? Mike will look at the inside line and there's contact. A bit of wheel bang and Connor Kid will go through on the inside. He'll pat Mikey the line, and Mikey was almost there as well. Connor Kid will get P2, Mikey 3 by 2/100ths of a second. Mike comes home in P4. Matterman 5 Fingers gets a top 6 finish. Nelly P7, Ranger 8, Robwells 90, and TXJ 10. Nude Potato 11, F Lewis 12, Shiv 13, Nick 14, Kristaps 15, Ryan Sam 16, and Pedro bringing the back of the grid home. In P17, yeah, that's post-race, so we know Mike was P2.
Was it P2?
No, P4.
But Connor's a reserve.
No, P3, so it's Rage, Mikey and Mike to come to comms. So Rage, if you're watching this stream, you just need to rejoin, please, sir. And we will get Mikey and Macon. Yeah, that was some interesting endings there, SPW, I would agree. Very intriguing.
I'm gonna mute off because obviously you can hear my background and
yeah, that's fine, man. No worries, sir. So Mikey joins us. I think it's just Mikey thus far. We wait on Rage and then the little Irishman. We'll start with our race winner though, since you have joined us. Mr. Rage, strategy absolutely on point. Mike took a risk at the end. I thought it was a big risk. It turned out to be a risk. You never... I don't think it's really a good idea always to put yourself in that midfield battle with so little laps to go. And it paid dividends. Allowed you to go on and comfortably win the race in the end. You said you were coming for it, and you did it. Very good job. How do you feel?
Great, man. Oh my god, I was freaking at that whole race. Just before that final safety car come out, Mike was catching me, and I had a feeling he was holding his ERS and just sticking with me. So that I would burn off, and he would have the last 7 laps to just cane it.
Yep.
And catch me back up. So he probably would have had a bit more fresher tyres than me. But that safety car coming out, I think guaranteed probably my win. So I'm just glad that safety car came out at the time.
Which you'll be glad to know was an AI car. SPW retired in the pits. He'd done everything that we asked him to do. The AI came out the pits, got to turn 4, dropped the rear of the car and put it in the wall. So how that happens under AI, I don't know, but yeah, I guess it was right at the halfway point of the race as well, right? So, oh, that was the first safety car.
I
No,
think that's the first safety car because the second safety car came out around lap 25.
that's right.
And I was also, I did not know what to do, but then I thought, the safety car, if people do pit, it's not going to come in for the first 2 laps. It might stay up for 3 laps. It stayed up for 2, but we still had like 4 racing laps to do.
Yep.
So he would have to be
Oh.
Lewis Hamilton to get through that. But yeah, that safety car was fortunate enough for me.
So, Rage, the question is, can you build off this?
I hope so. I hope so.
That's what we hope to see as well. I hope this is you announcing your championship challenge, because I think you deserve to be in that fight. So very good job in the P2, sir. Very, very good drive today. I think just to let you know that Mike wasn't really holding on to energy. I think you just maybe had the slightly better pace. Out and out. It was very close though, and nothing was splitting yourself and young Mike. But I think you just had a little bit. So very well done. And a good job on that victory. Mikey, a P2 man, because Connor Kidd is a reserve.
Oh, nice.
So you get P2 on the grid. It was very close between you and Connor at the line. It got very spicy in the closing few laps. Some good racing between yous all. How do you feel?
I was, when that finished, I was obviously pissed off because I'd held P2 for so long. And obviously me and Rage took the gamble not to go for the fresh tyres. But we were just thinking there's only 4 or 5 laps left of racing and it's quite hard to overtake around Imola. So we took the gamble and then went for it, and then yeah, and then you can see the gap closing on the last couple, and I just tried everything, and then yeah, oh my god, the last couple of corners it was like a 4-car pileup. But yeah, no, yeah, I'm happy, and I hate this fucking truck, so pardon me.
No, you're absolutely fine, mate.
So to get a podium here, like I should be ecstatic, because I'm not a fan of them at all.
So, I think you're always kind of on that bubble of that podium cusp, Mikey. I think you've made it very clear that you can compete right at the front of the grid. Do you think this is a season where you yourself could maybe start to mount a bit of a challenge?
I mean, trying it, that's all you can do is try, but we'll just see. I'll just try and keep around about the podium and not like last week and crash out. That does not help a title challenge.
No, certainly not.
Points. So, yeah, just need to try and stay consistent, and we'll see where we are at the end of the season.
Well, that's it, mate. And very good job on the P2. Top work,
Sure.
and I hope you can go on and build.
Thank you, mate.
Young Michael. Good evening.
Hey.
In P3, you made that very, very interesting in the closing laps. First and foremost, Mike, we never got to speak to you from the start. What happened at the end of the sprint race? That is my first question.
I need to ask that question also. I don't really know. I was fine, like I was 6 seconds ahead or whatever, and I was just taking it easy, and then I spun at turn 3 out of like nowhere. I just took the same line I always do, and car just ended up backwards in the fucking wall. And I was like, okay, that's fair enough, I guess.
So that aside, we find out exactly why you had no win, because there was a big spicy battle going on in the mid-pack, so we missed that, because we thought it was pretty comfortable for you at that point. That aside, the race comes. It's a good old slugfest, I think, between yourself and F. Lewis, that first stint. No. Is that right?
It was me and Rage really kind of just going toe to toe and then just swapping each other around, and we weren't gaining on, we were kind of staying with Lewis at that 1.4, and then the virtual safety car came out, Lewis pitted, and then it was just kind of me and Rage switching again for like another good few laps, and then the safety car came out, and I mean, I don't know why, there was a random virtual safety car about 2-3 laps in, and that just completely ruined me, because I fucking came out the chicane, and then by the time we got to the straight, Rage had pulled like 2-3 tenths, and it was like, alright then.
During one of the safety car restarts, Mike, there was a big incident. I just looked behind, I think you get caught up in it, or just behind it, or just in front of it. There was a lot of guys off track. Chris Stapps, F. Lewis, ENTXJ. Do you have any idea what happened there?
So I think this was the last safety car restart.
Yes.
I think, if I'm not wrong, so what happened was, so Rage goes from the front, and obviously people go, but I think it's Chris Stapps just doesn't react as well as me and Jay. So me and Jay are like literally left and right of him have to, I presume Jay also had to lift off the throttle so Chris Stapps could get back through before we were in green flags, and then we all started going, and then it was like 4 wide or something into turn 1, and you just know that's not going to work. So I think then Chris Stapps outbrakes himself and hits Nelly, I think, is in front, and someone spins, and then someone else spins, and then I think I even hit the back of Nelly or something.
So maybe not as cynical as it appeared. Like, although there was a lot of guys off, it was just maybe somebody going for a premature jump on the restart and then having to give the position back that caused that kind of close up of drivers.
Yeah, it was just more so like, even with Imola, because it's not straight, it's like corners but not corners, like up to turn 1. It just, you know, you look like you're in front, but then all of a sudden when you come around that bend, you're actually side by side, and it's like, yeah, I think it just... someone misjudged. Yeah, I didn't touch anyone, so...
I've sent your money via PayPal, Mike.
Ding ding! Oh, there's the notification.
So on that note, Michael, very well done on the P3 in the end.
I'm going to talk about my fabulous moves.
Turn 6.
Oh, yes. Turn 6. It's like every time you approach turn 6, you shook somebody's hand and passed them, and then when somebody try to block the inside line, you say, right, fine, I'll just take the outside line. That works good for me too.
I think there was 4 or 5 laps in a row I just went and sent it.
Mike, was the best one, I need to ask it, was the best the one on Matthew Walker?
Yeah, that one felt the best, because you're like,
I assumed
outside, it's Matthew, it's like,
Fat fact, that was the move.
Was he in the race?
Is that my favourite OTL driver, Mikey, in the background there?
It is.
But yeah, I mean, it was a good race. Like, I enjoyed the sprint race a lot. You know, it's kind of unlucky what happened for me, but it kind of like the best way to not win, if you get me.
Yeah. And you'd certainly made the last few laps very exciting. So, from a viewer standpoint, it was good fun.
Mike?
In my opinion, it does.
Oh, it definitely does.
I think it works at Imola, and I think it will work at the... What other tracks do we even have?
Brazil,
Italy, Brazil...
France?
Yeah, like it will definitely work, and like even the rain in quali made it like perfect. Like people on inters, people on full wets.
The mix and tyres was crazy.
And the fact that Chris didn't realise about the rain for about 10 minutes after me was disgraceful.
I was watching the stream. Chris wasn't even in the fucking stream. Sorry.
Sorry for the slow PS4 and that, you know. I tried my best.
You wasn't paying attention.
But
yeah.
No, I just wanted to know from your lot's point of view, if it works, if the lobby switch was quick enough for you lot as well.
No,
yeah,
definitely
that's
works in my
Yeah,
opinion.
it works. It works.
The best thing about it was, if you almost look at it, Rage made what, 5, 6, 7 moves in the entire event. I made 10 moves, Mikey made moves, Matoman made moves. Everyone at one point in the race kind of had to make overtakes, so it definitely does work.
Cool. Good. Good.
Right, on that note, Adam, one thing to wrap up before we go. Driver of the day from ourselves.
I mean, I don't know if you agree, but I'd fling it to Rage for bold strategy call, last safety car. I would have boxed myself, but I'd say Rage hands down had the best sprint to feature results and
Yeah.
phenomenal drive to get his win.
Yeah, I could back that up. I guess if there was if it was for overtakes of the race, I think Mike would have won that
Obviously,
very
easily, turn
convincingly.
6. Yes,
Um,
but I just think as a whole, from the sprint to the feature, Rage done what he needed and he's got his win.
Yeah, I can agree with that one then. So it's absolutely settled. Rage gets our driver of the day, and
Yay!
on that note, the channel will be back live on Wednesday for HOR, same format, same track. That will not to be missed, and then back on Thursday with Realistic. We will see you then.